Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Rainbow Children of the Light. If you're a mum who just feels like there's more to your child, more to parenting, more to what we're told, you're in the right place. I'm Heather, and I'm so happy you're here. This first episode feels really special because we're talking about something that has completely changed the way I parent, and that is spirit-led parenting. So today I just want to have a really open, honest chat about what that actually looks like, how you can actually start trusting your intuition, and how you can gently bring spirituality into your everyday life with your children. So the first thing I want to say is spirituality doesn't have to be this separate thing that you do. It's not like I'm being spiritual now and then I'm being mum now, which is kind of how I first started out on this journey. But they actually blend really well together, really naturally. So it can be as simple as pausing before you respond to your child, tuning into how something feels instead of just reacting, or having those moments where you just know that there's something deeper going on with them. That's spirit-led parenting. It's not perfect parenting, it's not polished, it's just awareness. Before I embraced spirit-led parenting, I remember when I would see the signs of a tantrum coming on and I would feel the impending doom, the anger that would start to rise as the tantrum was approaching. But now I feel calm because I know she is reading my energy. I let it flow naturally and provide reassurance hugs when she's calm enough to talk about the issue. And then we can think about ways of how to handle it better. And quite often it is, I was just really hungry, or I'm just really tired. And that's the tipping point. Again, this doesn't always happen great when we're out and about and when we're at the shops. So it can be a little bit challenging, in those moments where you're like, oh my God, I can feel this tantrum coming on. What are we going to do? But really just having that calm energy and centered energy and just being that hug that they know that they will get is so powerful, instead of just dragging them through the shops, telling them to stop it, because it just exacerbates how they're feeling and really doesn't make it go away. So something that really shifted things for me also was really realizing that I don't actually have to do this alone at all. So you can bring your connection with the divine into parenting. You can talk about your guides, you can talk about your angels, your child's spirit team, just in the middle of everyday life. So when things are hard, you can say to your spirit team, can you help me here? Can you show me what my child needs? And then just have a bit more of a relaxed knowing that it's almost like you're sharing responsibility. So you can have that sense of calm that can come in. It just doesn't feel like it's you, the be all end all. You can relax into it a little bit more. And then your thoughts become a little bit clearer. And that in itself is guidance. So it doesn't have to be big or dramatic. It can often be really subtle, but really powerful. And so that kind of comes into trusting your gut. And I mean, this is a huge one. It's your intuition. It's that first feeling you get. That's the one. So we quite often second guess ourselves and we end up overthinking things, but often our intuition is just that first feeling that we get before we even have time to think about it. And I feel like it's something that we have been conditioned away from. We're taught to outsource our power, to ask everybody else what they think, to look for advice or validation, reassurance, when there's nothing wrong with getting guidance. Absolutely, there's certainly a place for it. But what happens is we can start to disconnect from our own inner knowing, and we forget that the guidance we're seeking actually comes from within us. And, I really felt this on my own journey. When one of my kids was a baby, she had colic. I was searching for answers everywhere. This screaming little baby, I just wanted to help so much. And I was looking at all the parenting experts, reading books. I remember there was one night I was up until 4 a.m., already sleep deprived, looking for answers, just trying to figure out what can I do? What should I be doing? And whatever I'd implement, it would work for maybe 24, 48 hours. And then I was back to the drawing board again. And I remember how overwhelming that felt and how frustrated I was and how upset I was that I just couldn't help this little baby. And I had a little toddler running around as well. So, there's so much information, so many opinions, and, now looking back, what I really needed to do was come back to me and to her, just to slow it down, really tune into her energy, into her cues, and to feel what she needed in those moments. So instead of just trying this bit from an expert, trying that bit from an expert, which again, I think they're amazing at what they do, but really just in the moment, reading her energy. And then I think that also would have really supported me energetically and put some more trust into myself and my team, my guides, and hers, because the support is there the whole time. I just didn't realize I could access it that way. So it isn't about getting things wrong. It really is just a remembering that your intuition, your connection, your ability to feel into your child is so powerful. It really comes through your body. It's that gut instinct, that very first moment that you experience a feeling before you can think about it. And also just gaining that support through your spiritual team, your guides, your angels, your child's spiritual team. It's all not separate. It's all connected. So when you feel that little nudge, that quiet, this doesn't feel right, or this feels aligned, that is your guidance and your intuition. And the more you start listening to it, even in really small ways, the more confident you become in your parenting. You don't need to outsource every single decision. You can absolutely receive support from others, but your truth, your direction, it really does start within you. So, something that is simple that you can try before you go searching for answers somewhere else is just to pause, take a deep breath, and ask for your higher guidance for help. So you might say something like, can you show me what's right for my child right now? And then just be open, because sometimes they'll guide you to the exact resource or person or approach that's right for you. It might be through a book or an Instagram reel, or someone mentioned something to you in a conversation. It can even just pop into your head, just a thought that you haven't tried before. That can be your higher self, your guidance coming through. So instead of trying 10 different things and feeling really overwhelmed, some spiritual tools that we can use. And I really do like to keep this simple, especially when it comes to kids. So one thing I do all the time is to visualize my children in a bubble of white light. And I do this before school, before they go to sleep, even just randomly during the day if I feel called to. It only takes a few seconds, and this is all I do. I just imagine light around them, this beautiful white light, protecting them and holding them. And that's enough. Then I also ask their spiritual team to watch over them. And it's just as simple as, an example, Charlie's spiritual team, can you please look after and guide him today? And that intention goes a long way. So a few other things that I like to do, especially at bedtime, and this isn't complicated. It might sound like, all these things I've got to remember, but I just like to ask a few questions like, what was your favorite part of today? What made you happy? And even just sharing my own just brings in a little bit of gratitude without feeling like a real task. And something that I really want to share here is that Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to raise our vibration and to strengthen our connection with the divine. So, when we gently guide our children into gratitude, we're not just helping them reflect on their day, we're actually supporting them to connect back into their own heart, into love, into presence. And a really simple way of doing this is just to choose 3 things that you are grateful for. And obviously, depending on how old your kids are, it's all age relevant. It can be really simple as, I'm really grateful for this house we're in. I'm really grateful for the food on our table. I'm really grateful for these pajamas that I'm wearing, keeping me warm. So, just every small little thing that we just take for granted. And, I like to take turns in this as well because sometimes my children just like to parrot back to me what I say. So sometimes I like to get a little bit more out of the box and will really prompt them to think about what it is that they are feeling grateful for right here in that moment, because kids are so in the moment. And then I also like to ask around kindness, because kindness I think is such an important value. And so I like to ask them, where did you show kindness today? Or even, is there a moment where you could have been a little bit more kind? And, it isn't about making them feel like they've done something wrong. It's just about creating awareness and helping them tune into how they show up in the world. And it's just a really safe and loving way of doing that. And again, this can be light and playful. It's just little seeds that you're planting over time. And it's such a beautiful space for them to drift off to sleep from. And honestly, underneath all of this is just love, just unconditional love, no matter what kind of day it's been, no matter what behavior has shown up. There's always hugs available, always. Because at the end of the day, our children don't need us to be perfect. They just need to feel safe and loved and seen. And when they feel that, everything else becomes so much easier. So, spirit-led parenting isn't about doing more. It's about being more present, more connected, and trusting yourself. So, you already have all of this within you. It's just a remembering. So, if this episode resonated with you, I'd love to have you inside my free Facebook community, Rainbow Children of the Light. The link is in the show notes below. If you know another mum who needs to hear this, send it her way. Thank you so much for being here and for the way you are showing up for your children. And so don't forget you can subscribe and so you don't miss the next episode. And I'll see you in the next one, sending you so much love to you and your child.